I've played Diablo 4 non-stop every chance I've been able to, and here are 10 tips I wish I'd have known when I first started playing. There's some simpler things in here that if you've played before you might already know, but then there's some more advanced things that aren't explained or easy to find in the game and really helped me out once I found out that that was a system in the game or that was something you could do. So let's get straight into this with number 1, Strongholds. There's lots of optional things to do in Diablo 4, lots of things that pop up on the map, events, side quests, things like that. But one thing I would really recommend is knock out the Strongholds. These are areas of the map overrun by enemies. So each zone has multiple strongholds and it's just a location covered in enemies with a mini quest series kind of thing there. You go there, you do this event, and then you clear the stronghold. And doing this alters the map. It changes the zone from a hostile area into a friendly area. So there might be a dungeon that is accessible once you've cleared the stronghold on top of it. Some strongholds, once defeated, will turn into towns with a waypoint that you can then fast travel to help you get around. They might have shops on them. Overall, just clearing these strongholds makes the map feel bigger and more alive and will unlock more things. So if you're looking around what to do, there's so many things popping up, so many things you're not sure what to go to first, you're not sure what to do to level up and get experience. One thing I would always try and do if you can find them, if you go past them, is to clear out a stronghold. Next up, World Tiers. World Tiers increase the difficulty of your game and offer better rewards for playing at those higher tiers. Worlds 1 and 2 are for leveling, and then after 50 you can do a dungeon and go into tier 3, and then again after 70 you can do a dungeon and go into tier 4. But what should you play at level 1 to 50? In my opinion, you should play at tier 1. Tier 2 offers an additional 20% experience, but is much harder. I tested this on and off on the beta, and although tier 2 gives more experience, it's much harder to clear through the mobs and to progress in the game. If you play on tier 1, you will blast through the story, blast through the side quests, the strongholds, the events, the dungeons for your aspects. You'll just clear everything so fast that you'll get much more experience than going slowly on tier 2 with 20% boost. People will debate both sides, but my opinion is tier 1 is so fast. If you get really good gear, you've got full set legendaries, your build's looking amazing, and it's too easy, knock it up to tier 2. But I would say, at least for the first 20-30 levels, play on tier 1, see how you feel. Next up, gems. Now this might be obvious if you played Diablo 3, but don't be afraid to socket your gems. They can be socketed, unsocketed, leveled up, and you should just use them whenever you have them. There is no need to be overcautious and save your good gems. You can put a gem in some bad gear and then take it out when you're done with it and put it in some new gear. Once you replace a piece of gear, it also won't get salvaged. So if you go to the salvage person, the smith guy, and salvage all, it will protect anything in your inventory with a gem in. So never worry about putting gems into bad gear. Use these as much as you want. Another great thing is that gems can be leveled up even if they're in your stash. So when you get into town, drop all your gems in your stash and just go level them all up. It's 3-to-1 into a better gem. So 3 poor gems into an average gem, 3 average gems into a good gem, that kind of system. So yeah, just stash all your gems away. And then when you've got gear with a socket, start putting your good gems in and then take them out when you're done with them. Okay, next one, this is a big one, legendary aspects. So these are the orange effects on legendary items. In Diablo 4, these can be extracted off of items and added onto another. So if you get a legendary weapon with a really good effect, so plus something to something, but then you get a better weapon, you can take that effect off and put it on the next weapon. This is huge, and there's a really good thing here to make sure you're getting the most out of the things you're extracting. If you go into your options and turn on advanced tooltips, it will let you see the full range of these legendary aspects. So if you get a legendary and it says chance to freeze on attack of 20%, if you turn on these advanced tooltips, it will show you what that could have been. So it could be 20 to 40%. And if your legendary is 20%, it's not that good. If your legendary is 40%, it's a great legendary that has rolled in that 20 to 40% range and hit the top. And you can roll somewhere in the middle as well. But it's worth saving these really high-end pieces for putting onto new gear. There's some restrictions on this at high level, so just putting them on like really high level gear, but I won't get into that. But it's always worth saving these and putting them onto good gear. And yeah, this advanced tooltip will help you see how good this roll is. And items in your codex, I believe, if you put something on from the codex, that is at the lowest percent possible. So if it's 20%, 40%, it will always put it on at 20%. So yeah, finding these high roll items in the wild is huge. Okay, potions. You've probably heard that you can upgrade your potions every 10 levels. And you can do that in town with the items you find from bushes and stuff. But you can also increase your potion cap with Renowned. So as you clear things in each zone, you can upgrade your Renown level, and that will permanently increase your potion capacity. And trust me, the game gets hard. So you'll be blasting through your potions every single fight. It's worth making sure that you go and upgrade your potions and upgrade your potion cap so that when you go into a fight, you don't just have 4 weak potions, you've got like 8 really good ones. And similarly, elixirs. These drop randomly from mobs, but can also be crafted at the same alchemist in town. These are 30-minute buffs that can be used, and they are such as buffs to the character or defensives like resistance to certain elements, things like that. You can either go into your inventory window, click on consumables, and use them from there, or you could open your emote wheel, click customize, and then add the elixir to the wheel. So find one you plan on using a lot, add it to the wheel, and you can use it fast whenever it runs out. Every 30 minutes you see it gone from your buffs, you go put another one on. Okay, teleporting. If you're new to Diablo, there is a teleport to town option. So pressing T or whatever your town portal button is set to will open a portal back to town. But this is a two-way portal. So once you go back to town, you can go back, sell all your stuff, deposit your gems, things like that. You can then jump through this portal back to where you were. So if you were at the bottom of a dungeon, you'll go back to that same place in the dungeon or wherever else you were on the map. Additionally, in Diablo 4, there's now a leave dungeon feature. There's a little more hidden. So if you go in your emote wheel again and go customize, there is an option for leave dungeon, which is huge. This will teleport you straight to the entrance of whatever dungeon you're in, which is great for questing or exploring. If you want to just jump into a dungeon, do a certain thing, jump out, you don't have to go all the way back to town with a portal, and you don't have to walk all the way back to the entrance. Next tip, faded plaques. On your adventures, you'll find these little statues. They're small statues with a purple glow in front of them. Head over and they will say faded plaque. And it's a small riddle. I found some of these when I was first playing the game and thought, that's a nice bit of lore, because they look like every other little lore thing that you can inspect. But they relate to emotes or other interactions, and performing the correct thing in front of it will give you a buff or some other reward. Some give potions, other gives buffs, items, things like that. You can Google the perfect answer to every riddle, but it's fun just to go up to them and work them out. It's a nice little addition to the game. Next up, if you're playing Diablo 4, long-time fans will recognize treasure goblins. These little goblins with sacks on their back that try and run away. If you let them run away, they'll open up a portal, jump through it and escape. But if you can defeat them by stunning them or doing lots of damage, they drop good items, including legendaries. But in Diablo 4, with the addition of mounts, they also have a chance to drop mount skins or new mounts, however you want to call them. One confirmed drop is the Decaying Steed, but who knows if this is just the only mount or if it only comes from here, but it's definitely worth killing these. They sometimes drop legendaries. People have had mounts from them. Who knows what else they could drop, especially at the higher difficulties when you start hitting those level 70 plus. If you find a goblin, definitely try and take it down. Who knows what you're going to find in there. Next up, let's talk about alts and alt leveling. There are some amazing catch-ups and quality of life additions to Diablo 4 that make leveling an alt so easy. However, I would advise leveling your main character first, because a lot of the stuff you do on your main will make your alt level faster. If you keep progressing through the story, you'll eventually unlock a mount. This will let you use a mount on your alt from the very start of the game. This becomes an account-wide mount, so your fresh level 1 character can zoom through the game. If you finish the story on your main, the next character you make will be able to skip the story. All your base renown that you achieve will be shared, so potion expansion, things like that. All of the stash is shared, the money is shared, material is shared, so your alts get such a catch-up and such a speed through, which is huge if you want to make lots of characters, lots of builds, and just go all in on this game, but don't want to go through any of the things multiple times and go through it all very slowly. So yeah, it's a huge win for people who want to make alts. But yeah, that's it. 10 tips that I wish I'd have known when I first started playing the game. Hopefully there's something here that's helped. Let me know in the comments if anything's been useful here, or if anything was wrong, let me know. The game's been about for a few days. I could have made a mistake. Let me know in the comments, correct me, help other people out. And yeah, if this has helped, consider liking, subscribing. I'm going to be making a lot more Diablo content. So yeah, subscribe to see that first. That's it though for this video. Take care everybody, and I will catch you in the next one.